The media has incorrectly reported that General Motors has purchased Tesla's gigacasting supplier, as in the manufacturing company that makes the gigacasting machines themselves. Not actually true, but General Motors has done something a little bit underhand. They have poached or bought a supplier that has been working with Tesla. Was this intentional? Of course it was. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. And General Motors, Mary Barra, obviously she points out that General Motors will very, very soon catch Tesla and very easily overtake them when it comes to their electric car sales. She's made comments like this on Oprah, CNBC, I don't know, all those different places that people listen to talking heads in the United States, and not just in the US. I mean, to be honest, even in Australia, we watch a lot of those programs. They're very, very popular, and people believe things that people say on those programs. But a lot of people have been very skeptical about Mary's claims, and even the interviewers have been saying, Mary, are you serious? You really going to beat Tesla in 2025? Yeah, of course, no. But yeah, anyway, that doesn't appear to be happening. So GM are doing some little things here, and playing some little games here to try and undermine Tesla, really. But no, they did not buy Hydra. Now, Hydra are the actual company that make the gigacasting machines for Tesla, the Cybertruck gigapresses, the obviously Tesla Model Y gigapresses, and apparently possibly a mega casting machine, which would be enormous for the Model 2. They also supply gigacasting machines to now Toyota, Hyundai, Kia, Ford, Volvo, and about 8 different Chinese automakers apparently have placed orders as well. But that company is in Italy, and GM haven't bought that company. The media are reporting that General Motors has snatched Tesla's key Tesla gigacasting supplier. Well, actually, General Motors purchased TEI. And TEI are, well, they don't quite make the gigacastings themselves. However, this little-known company called Tooling and Equipment National, or TEI, has helped Tesla push back the frontiers of gigacasting, which is the process it pioneered to cast large body parts for cars in one piece, which saves a lot of time and a lot of money, makes EVs much lighter and more structurally rigid and safer. Until 2023, TEI was doing its thing and working with Tesla, but now it's owned by General Motors after agreeing to a deal that apparently people are saying flew under the radar. Now, apparently, purchasing TEI is part of GM's strategy to catch up to Tesla. I'm not sure if this is actually going to work. I don't think General Motors have actually placed any orders for gigacasting machines, but by snapping up a specialist in sand casting techniques that accelerated the so-called development of Tesla's gigacasting molds and allowed it to cast more complex components, GM appears to be aiming to jumpstart its own push to make cars more cheaply and efficiently at a time when Tesla is racing to make its $25,000 electric vehicle. Now, apparently, General Motors has bought this company because they can believe that they can basically reinvent their own version of a gigapress. I don't know if that's true, but that's why they purchased the company. With TEI gone, Automotive News says that Tesla is leaning more heavily on 3 other casting specialists it has used in Britain, Germany, and Japan to develop the huge molds needed for the millions of cheaper EVs it plans to make in the coming decade, the 4 people said. So basically what this company does is it can make the mold for Tesla. Then what happens is this company will basically send the mold to Hydra in Italy, who makes a gigapress machine, and Hydra will use that mold and create a gigapress machine that can make a casted piece that size. So now Tesla, rather than working with this company in the US and ordering these and getting this company to help it with its parts, it needs to now get these companies which are not in the US to do the same work, which obviously would add to Tesla's expense and time wasted. Tesla is apparently scrambling to find another sand casting specialist to fill the role that TEI performed, or even to develop such crucial expertise in-house to cut its reliance on outside suppliers. General Motors acquired Tooling and Equipment International TEI to bolster its portfolio of innovations and secure access to unique casting technology, GM said in a statement to Reuters in response to questions for the story. Now, I don't believe it's really unique casting technology. It's simply what I said before, making a mold which you can then get another company to make the machine that can mass manufacture that mold. So GM is kind of misrepresenting what this company actually does. And one of the key reasons could be the fact that, well, right at the point when GM announced this acquisition, Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett dumped their stock. It was revealed that Berkshire Hathaway have dumped nearly $2 billion of General Motors stock, just completely evacuated their entire position. And the reality is that Berkshire did this because it has lost insane amounts of money on GM stock. It purchased GM stock more than 10 years ago. It added to its position over time, sold down, added, but ultimately it's always held nearly $2 billion, and it sold all of that position within the past 6 months. This is really bad PR. GM stock is, well, here's some context. GM stock was sitting at $38 US nearly 13 years ago. Today it's at about 27. So if you include inflation, it's down around 50%. General Motors acquired Tooling and Equipment International, TEI, to bolster its portfolio of innovations and secure access to unique casting technology, said GM. Tesla and TEI President Oliver Johnson have not responded to requests for comment. And I mean, I don't know why the media say this, because Tesla never responds to requests for comment. Like GM, a host of automakers from Ford, Hyundai, and Toyota are trying to copy Tesla's gigacasting know-how to match its design and manufacturing efficiency and avoid being undercut on the showroom floor. Toyota said that by using a gigapress machine which it's ordered, it will be able to reduce parts by around 90 in that part of the car to 1, and it will go from taking around 3 hours to build that section of the car to less than 2 minutes. So it's a big difference. Gigacasting is obviously core to Tesla's unboxed manufacturing strategy, unveiled by CEO Elon Musk, which he hopes will slash the assembly costs of the next generation of its cars by half. But Tesla is moving on from gigacasting. It wants to embrace megacasting. Gigacasting is great, but it's saying megacasting is the new giga. And megacasting will mean doing it in one piece instead of two, essentially. It's more complicated than that, but that's what it boils down to. The strategy hinges on producing the structural platform and subframes of a car in one piece using gigacasting. Generally, they're made from aluminium. It's lighter, it's stronger, it's stiffer, and like I said, it's much cheaper to make it this way. What happens is Tesla actually snaps together this part at the end with other parts of the vehicle that are made in parallel. And it means that Tesla can make an EV much faster than the competition. That it does include BYD, by the way. Now, to give you some context, Volkswagen admitted that it takes them just over 30 hours to make an EV, and Volkswagen CEO said it takes Tesla 10 hours. It's a big difference. The gigacasting know-how, which uses casts made out of industrial sand with 3D printing in order to make the shape of the cast that's needed, has been made possible in part by TEI along with the 3 other suppliers that Tesla has been using. So Tesla does still have access to those 3 other suppliers. Of course, General Motors wouldn't like you to know that. However, GM has been making its own castings. So GM does use a gigacasting, but only for its uber expensive Celestiq EV, which is, I think, about $300,000. Reuters reported that the work of these 4 firms that I spoke on previously has been a key reason why Tesla can develop a car from the ground up in 18 to 24 months and do so while still making a profit, while others take 3 to 4 years. Now, that's what Reuters said. The specialists use sand casting in a process called rapid prototyping to help validate Tesla's designs and engineering specifications for its giant molds quickly and cheaply. According to all 4 sources, TEI began helping Tesla in 2017 to develop the Model Y and is considered in the industry to be the world's top sand casting specialist. Since then, TEI has been involved in gigacasting mold prototyping for Tesla's Model 3, Cybertruck, and its Semi as well. The Semi apparently uses gigacasting too. which I actually wasn't aware of. Let me know if you knew about that in the comments. When TEI's Johnson put the company up for sale last year, General Motors would have had a good idea about what gigacasting know-how it had and thought it could get an advantage, or maybe just thought it could irritate the heck out of Elon Musk, which is probably what it did. GM's realization, the four sources said, certainly came when it conducted due diligence and was probably well before that, as it had turned to TEI around 2021 to test and produce some underbody castings for its luxury $340,000 Cadillac Celestiq EV, which is due to hit showrooms next year. As part of the program, GM signed a guaranteed long-term contract, and TEI invested in a new dedicated production line for the Celestiq at its base in Livonia, Michigan, a 25-minute drive from GM's Detroit headquarters, one of the sources said. So it's a pretty convenient location. Bringing TEI into the GM enterprise builds on decades of the company's own casting experience and provides a competitive advantage with strategic castings for future low-volume products like the Cadillac Celestiq. So it sounds like General Motors doesn't plan on using gigacasting for mass manufacturing, but for low-volume vehicles. TEI won the 2023 Casting of the Year award from the American Foundry Society for those Celestiq castings in that General Motors EV. And it formally became part of GM's global manufacturing division, which oversees all of GM's automobile and parts manufacturing operations on the 1st of July, according to sources. TE will remain its own business entity with GM as its parent company, said GM. So I don't know if that means that they can still work with Tesla. I'm going to guess probably not. Two of the sources with direct knowledge said General Motors paid less than $100 million for TEI, with one of them estimating it paid around $80 million. So while Tesla has leapt ahead of its rivals when it comes to manufacturing techniques, and appears to be putting more distance between itself and a lot of the automotive industry, the TEI deal has given GM a front row view of how Tesla honed its gigacasting expertise, says Automotive News. TEI and others make test molds out of industrial sand, using a digital design file, and 3D printers known as binder jets build a sand mold that can cast molten alloys. Among key benefits of this method are that a sand mold can be printed quickly and then reprinted many times at a very small cost to tweak and adjust the mold designs. TEI and the three other specialists have been particularly important for Tesla in coming up with new alloys to be used in sand casts, as well as techniques for heat treating the large metal body parts once they've been molded to improve their quality. They apparently can have issues with the way that they were already doing that in the past, so Tesla's had to use new metals and new materials to make these gigacasting parts work better. James Womack, a former research director at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, believes Musk's new manufacturing initiatives have come as a shock to the legacy auto industry, shaking up everyone else. It even woke up Toyota, the industry's current very best in manufacturing. Now, I don't believe that's true, but that's what Toyota says, to embrace gigacasting and other innovations from Tesla, said Womack, co-author of The Machine That Changed the World, the 1990 book about Toyota's lean production system. Womack believes the competition to achieve even greater efficiency is far from over. Gigacasting and unboxed are worthy of experiments, but cutting-edge endeavors almost always take more time than initially projected to reach maturity, and some experiments will fail, said Womack. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.